Hey there everyone, Luke here. Now before I talk about the chapter, just want to say one very quick thing. We've started watching Power Rangers CO. Yeah, even though we said in the video we were gonna take a month off, we were all like, hey, what the heck? We might as well just dive right into Power Rangers CO, and I feel like that's what we're gonna be doing now. For now, we're gonna be hopefully doing one season, taking a month off, then doing another season, and so on and so forth. So that's all I wanted to say on that front. But that's something for Control Chaos, and also I've got a ton of ideas coming up for when I have my 2 weeks off, which is in a couple of weeks. So look forward to videos on that end. But for now, let's just talk about this chapter. Alright, so this will be chapter 168, titled Momo's Video Letter. So, as the title suggests, this is mainly focusing on Momo's video message that he has for the family after he decoded it in the last chapter, which is nice that we're actually getting a continuation of this, but keeping it relatively light-hearted as a result as well. Which again, like I said, was much needed after the whole incident with Asa. But first things first is I want to talk about this title page with just Goliath giving Aya a ride as she puts up the weather dolls, which are kind of common in Japan. Whenever it rains, you put like these like weird you put these like doll things. I guess it's spirits to stop the rain. I'm not really entirely sure about that. But what I love about it is that she puts every single member of the Yozakura family, including Ayaka, Tayo, and Goliath, and also herself as well, which pretty much solidifies Ayaka as like not an official member of the family, but as close to an official member of the family as possible. Or I guess she thinks like, hey, Ayaka's the one that babysits me all the time, so I've got to include her. So that's quite nice. That's quite nice of her. But anyway, getting to the actual chapter itself, and also it explains what Aya is doing throughout all of this exchange with what's going on with Momo. So yeah, getting on with the chapter, it starts off with Momo reiterating like, oh, I have faith that you will someday find this. With this video, I send you all my last will as your father. Now we're gonna get into a plot point in this chapter, but I think this pretty much is confirming that we're not going to get the time skip that everyone was expecting, because based on what happens at the end of the chapter, it's kind of making it impossible, and it's probably needs something else as well, but something that's been theorized for a while now, and we'll get into it. Koichiro warns Mutsumi to be careful of what's going on here, because because Momo's using his blooming to slip between the two separate personalities he has, the nice kind-hearted father and the psychotic father. So there's no way of telling whether the father that they're actually speaking to, well, the father that's sending this message, is the same one or not. And as Koichiro is saying this, the video says as if it's actually responding to Koichiro's statement. Oh, you have a point, Koichiro, and everyone is just like bamboozled by this. Like, how did it know that I was going to say that? And Koichiro's like, oh, don't tell me. Another one of my father's tricks, and I kind of know what's going on here. But Mo was like, oh, no, Koichiro, don't think of it that way. Think of it more of the sense like, I know you guys. So this is a pre-recorded message. I'm not a hologram. This is not in real time. This is pre-recorded. But at the same time, getting a live stream past Shion's security unnoticed is impossible. Besides, by the time you watch this video, I expect I'll be dead or very close to it. And yeah, you kind of predicted that, Momo, but also as well, they're simply predicting everything that they're gonna say back to them. So it's like Momo knows them so well that he can predict down to a T exactly what the messages what the responses are going to be to what he's actually saying right now. But he's made it all in his head. So I guess he did do this during the during the Tampopo invasion of the mansion. Futaba just like, oh come on, there's no way he could be possibly doing it, before Momo cuts over like, oh no, I can do it, I can do it, Futaba, and I'm proving it right now because I'm responding to you because you're my beloved family. I've watched and kept listening to you my whole life, so aside from me, there is no one else in the world I'm profiled more completely than all of you. So yeah, you can try and get out of this, but I am just gonna completely guess and easily predict what you're gonna say with 100% accuracy. As the husband of the ninth head and as the father who loves his children, it's only natural I can do that. I can do that much. Like, okay, yeah, Momo, don't get ahead of yourself. And this is basically just showing off on Momo's part. A high pitch went there, but just go with it with my voice. But yeah, Momo is just basically showing off here. Of just, yeah, Momo, very, very impressive, very impressive. But can we get to the point that you have of why you hacked the system and why you did everything you're doing right now? So as Momo explains, like, oh, what power he's basically using this, it's power of prediction, but with 100% accuracy. Futaba's just like, oh, damn it, of course he can, because he's our father. And Karicho, just like Momo, pretty much confirming that the father and son is like, oh, you think that's impressive? I can do the exact same thing, but with Mutsumi. And we get an image in of Karicho just thinking about what Mutsumi is going to say to him, which is like, Karicho, I hate you. You're creepy. Get lost, jerk. And why do I get the feeling that the more negativity Karicho gets from Mutsumi, the more he's entranced by it? I guess it's a case of like, the more you hate someone, the more it's like, oh no, you love them really. And I feel like that's what goes through Karicho's mind half the time when he's like thinking about, oh, Karicho, I hate you, even though he'd probably be more like, oh, I love you, big brother Karicho. Oh yeah, there's no way Mutsumi would be saying something like that unless she was forced to. And yeah, Tayo and Mutsumi are just like white blank expressions, just like, seriously, why are you guys competing here? And why are we even arguing with a video message right now? Momo was like, oh, no, but not bad, Karicho, but I can also easily predict Ri's anger injections with complete accuracy. And Karicho's just like, oh, well, I have a complete grasp of even the timing of Mutsumi's blinks. And yeah, Mutsumi at that point is just like, seriously, how am I related to why do I have to be related to these two? And yeah, pretty much Mutsumi acting realistic here, because sometimes you do get those moments where your family is just so embarrassing to you. They just like, seriously, why did it have to be me? Why did I have to be related to this guy? Or you get those moments where you just question like, how am I related to these guys? But yeah, Momo decides to cut the crap and be like, okay, yeah, this is fun, and I admit it's been good catching up with you guys, but we need to get down to business right now, and I can't hold on to my sanity for long, so let's get this over with. With this video, I trust to you a plan that I've worked on for some time. The purpose of this plan is to destroy Asa, the founder of the Yozakura family, which makes sense considering the awful, terrible things Asa's done. It's like, yeah, Momo is smart enough to know, like, okay, yeah, this guy has messed us up big time. He needs to be taken out. Now, I don't expect to be taken out for a good long while now. I'm going to say, at this point, 250. Around the 250 chapter mark is when they actually get into the notion of like, okay, now we get to take out Asa, and you'll see why I got that notion in place based on what Momo's going to explain to the members in a moment, and Tayo's going on like, wait, destroy Asa. And Momo carries on and explains like, oh, I've been working on this plan for long and hard, and now it's finally accomplished. Yeah, so Do not screw it up, guys. You've come so far and you've gone stronger, but you can get even stronger. So do not screw up this plan. As Momo continues to explain his plan to the family, we see a picture open up, which reveals that there is a black box. Okay, we know what the black box is all for. It's got all the memories and data of everything. Okay, no. It's not that kind of black box, but it seems to be a perfectly indestructible black box, like how the black box is supposed to be. Which begs the question: if the black box is indestructible, why don't you just build the plane out of the black box? Seriously, that is a legitimate question. Why hasn't that even been done? I guess the materials are too expensive. I don't know. I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, they mentioned that, oh, it's a box, it doesn't look like an explosive, you can probably open it. So I love the fact that they're like, okay, this might be dangerous, we need to take that, but at the same time it doesn't look dangerous, so we can take the risk. As they open it up, they reveal that it's revealed that there are letters. Seriously, what is it with Momo and letters? It's like the tapes in the Saw films, like the cassette tapes. It's like, our letters is Momo trying to compensate for the fact that letters are becoming obsolete in today's world. But yeah, Momo says that, oh, those letters from me to you. Well, more accurately, it is to say it's the mission to destroy Asa will be the greatest the Yozakura family has ever undertaken until the next big bad comes through. Although, given that what's being built up here, it seems like Asa is being built up to be the final antagonist of the series. But at the same time, he might not. It might not be up for a while that we actually get to take him on. And Momo mentions that the letters are your directors. So basically, from what I'm gathering, is like it's going to be it's going to be their own individual missions that they'll have to go on in order to get stronger and improve their skills, so that they are actually ready to take on Asa. And Mutsumi actually gets one herself, so it'll be quite interesting to see like what kind of mission Mutsumi would actually go on in a series like this. Keigo says like, oh, I can't say I get all that's going on, but what say we open them, and of course Momo being Momo knows like, oh, Keigo's probably going to say something like that. So yeah, there's no now Keigo, there's no need to rush. You're always in such a hurry, you don't have to open them yet. I call them directives, but they're more my personal advice to each one of you. Read them. Oh no, okay, so they're not like missions that I just advise for Momo to give everyone. As it's like, oh, those are my. Oh no, they might be missions. You just like, this is the thing. Like, it could be advice, it could be missions. Just don't know. You just don't know until we actually know the context of the letter. And I feel like they are still going to go on missions to train themselves up to get more stronger. And then when the time comes, they are going to open the letter. So it might be a case like we'll get arcs focusing on each of the members going through their training before they finally open up their letters to feel what the advice Momo is going to give them, which could potentially extend the series. Although we've seen what happened with Dr. Stone, how we thought like, oh great, we're going to get Globetrotter, we're going to get like we're going to get like 20 chapters, 40 chapters of just focusing on this one city before we move on to the next one, extending up to 100 chapters. But we know what happened there, so I'm being a bit cautious here with these directives. Like, it could be a case of like 5 chapters and then we get Koichiro's directive, 4 chapters then we get Shinzo's directive. It could be something like that. So I'm bracing myself for that actually being the case. And since there's several of them, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's like 8 of them. So yeah, could be a case of like we just get four chapters for each. Like, it's like 32 chapters, something like that. So yeah, be prepared to be disappointed and not have this be like 150 chapters before we actually get to as like. I want it to be like chapter 250, but at the same time, it'd probably be like, yeah, it's not going to be the case now that I think about it. Momo carries on to and explains that, oh, generally a Yozakura family's member's body reaches peak ripeness in their early 20s. Asa likely intends to wait and watch until then, although based on Asa getting involved right now, there is a case that he'll be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And we see Asa right here, so he has to be monitoring what's going on right now. It's like he's probably got, although no wait, Momo did say he did this so that Masa wouldn't monitor them, but at the same time he's probably got intel inside scoops and the inside sources that could very easily get the contents of this message and relay it back to him. That'll just have to be something we'll have to wait and see. Momo says, oh, it's a mistake on Asa's part. He's the family founder. He assumes he knows everything there is to know about the Yozakura family, but he's not your parent. I am. Perfect, makes total sense there, because it's basically like how when you get a board game where somebody like designs a game and everything, and they're like, I'm the creator of the game, so I know every aspect of this game down to the last little pixel. But then somebody else has covered something that you can do with the game that you didn't anticipate or predict, and it's like, don't tell me how to play my game. As it's probably like, don't tell me that I don't know my family. It's the same sort of thing, and really, Asa should be learning from the parents who actually raise their kids, even though they're the family member. Momo and Ri have elevated the kids to a whole nother level that could very easily surpass Asa, which Momo perfectly explains here. It's like, I know how to train you so that you exceed Asa's expectations. I can make you stronger much faster, which again, yeah, like I said, it's probably not going to be like 100 or 150 chances before we get to the final confrontation with Asa. He carries on and says, and sure, I don't need to tell you this, but there's no need for you to follow his schedule. In a few years' time, when he blazingly walks up to the mansion all unawares, thinking to plug you at that moment when you're of the most value to him, that's when the greatest generation of the Yozakura family will mercilessly destroy him. That is the whole of the plan that I'll leave to you. So I guess it was a case of like Momo made himself the villain to prepare themselves for the greater threat that is Asa. And then once the message stopped, everyone is just like on the edge of just like, okay, anything else? Anything else, Momo? But Momo just doesn't answer, and everyone's just like, that's it? That's the plan? You're giving us this information and advice of how to, and growing us faster so that we can take down Asa? That was it all along. And Momo was just like, were you expecting something way more amazing? Because I sure as hell wasn't. Now the image there where they're all just going, that's it. That's gonna be a meme for whenever a series unexpectedly ends. Like, that's it. Like, us at Control Chaos are probably gonna have to use that at some point. But yeah, continuing on. Momo's just like, oh come on! I formulated put a ton of effort into this plan. So why are you all dissatisfied? And Shinzo's like, well, it's pretty fuzzy, little concrete detail. Yeah, this is why you got to figure it out yourself, Shinzo. You're smart enough to figure out what to do next and how you're going to train yourself up. And Nano's like, right, or some incredibly super drug, which is in reference to Shinzo expecting, like, I expected a super weapon. It's like, what more do you want, guys? And this is where Mo's like getting really pissed off at like actually predicting what they're saying. He's like, oh, but this more surefire way, it works because of my faith in your potential. But Shion actually equivalents this to level grinding until you can brute force a game is one way to do it, but I wouldn't call it a strategy. No, you're just basically stalling for time until you can like, okay, I've got enough XP now, I can take on the final boss. And Keigo's like, yeah, no, yeah, no, this is absolutely totally lame, which, yeah, I agree. No one likes grinding in games, especially in early Pokemon. yeah, everyone calling Gen 1 the greatest generation of Pokemon, there was a lot of grinding you had to do to level yourself up without rare candies, and that was terrible to do it that way. And Mo at this point is just like, "Oh, Futabo, what do you think?" But she's giving no answer here. Before she says, "No, there you have it. It's too late, Dad. It's too late, Dad. You've got to go. Bye bye." And Mo's just like, "Why, Futabo? Why? Tile. Will you tell them, please?" And this is where Tyler's just like, I haven't really done anything in the last couple of chapters, so I don't really know what to do in this situation. Maybe I should step back before Musume steps up to the plate, which I am glad that they're actually thinking like, oh crap, Musume is meant to be a main character, so let's give us something to do at this. Let's give us something to do, which I think it was either Sky said or a Scarred Hero that said like, fine, we need Mutsumi to be brought back into the spotlight because, like I said, she's supposed to be the main female character of the series, but she hasn't really done anything since not last year, but the year before. And she's like, "Dad, stop. You don't know him that well. The poor guy is stuck trying to smile and laugh because he doesn't know what to say." And Momo was just like going crazy at this point, like he didn't expect this much pushback from an imaginary conversation in his head that's actually turning out to be 100% accurate, like he said at the beginning of the chapter. He goes, "I hope the other me gets you good for that." So it's just like, I hope that. So yeah, this had to have taken place during the Tampopo Invasion Mansion. I know I've said that several times, but yeah, that pretty much confirms it. And before everyone says, "Are you sure you should say that?" And Karicho goes, "I told you at the start, we presently have no reason to trust anything you say," which, good on you, Karicho, because Momo has done some despicable things, but I think at this point, I feel like Asa is so much of a threat, you need to take all the advice you can get. And Momo's like, "Oh, Karicho, I know none of you will bother listening," but Karicho's like, "Oh, no, I didn't say that. We'll do whatever Mutsumi decides." And she's like, "Wait, what? You want me to make the decision here?" And but I feel like this is appropriate because, Mutsumi, you are the head of the family. You have to be taking these decisions. You have to be stepping to the forefront. And whatever your decision here as the head of the family could mean success and failure for the Yozakura family, even though we know it's going to be success in the end. Everyone else is just as shocked about this. But like I said, I feel like this has to be Mutsumi's choice, given that she is meant to be the head of the family and she's meant to be the main female character of the series. But I love this moment from both of them, because she's like, "Karicho, you're asking me," and Karicho's just silently standing there, just like, "Yeah, because you are the head, so whatever decision you make, we will follow to the letter." And this is where Mutsumi gives a response of just like, "I accept that Dad's plan, let's go with it." And we get two very different reactions. We get one from Tayo of just like, "Mutsumi," but one from Momo from Mutsumi. Tayo's more like, "Mutsumi, are you sure about this? Are you sure it's a very good idea?" Momo's probably like, "Oh, Mutsumi, thank you. I knew I could count on you." And that's where the chapter ends. So not really much going on in this chapter. It's just basically Momo giving out his message and giving out details of like, okay, what you guys can do to take out Asa. Now giving Mutsumi the spotlight at the end of the chapter, really well done. It's the first time in a long time that she's actually had to step up to the plate to make a really important decision that impacts the rest of the series. Now, what her decision is going to imply and how they're going to go about it. Like, I feel like she's going to be like, "Okay, we're going to follow Dad's plan, but we're going to do it our way and figure out like how we're actually going to train to get stronger in these aspects." That's the only thing I can think of what her response is going to be to everyone's reaction of what her decision was going to be, what her decision was at the end of the chapter. But yeah, not really much else to say on the chapter. It was very standard, straightforward chapter. Still very interesting because we finally got to figure out what Momo's plan actually was to taking out Asa. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment. all that jazz, and this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.